Tinfoil hat. Oh, what the fuck are you guys even talking about?
Global controls will have to be imposed, and a world governing body will be created to enforce them.
Welcome to Tinfoil Hat. We go deep, homeboy. Aaron, open your mind. Drink from the fountain of knowledge. There's lizard people everywhere. That's some interdimensional shit. Wake up, Aaron.
This is only the beginning.
Dude, you just blew my mind.
Are you ready to get your mind blown?
All right, guys, welcome to a special emergency episode of Tinfoil Hat. We brought in the bangers. We're here. We're going to break down L.A., everything going down, my little battle with Laura Loomer, a tiny bit. We'll get into all that. But join me straight from Mount Crushmore, the man, the myth, the legend, Eddie Bravo. How are you?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
Well, excited to see you this weekend. We got Friday night, we're in Cleveland, and then Saturday night, we are in Pittsburgh. I know it's the summer, guys. Grab your tickets now. It's going to be nothing but fire. Dad's got a whole bunch of new jokes I'm super excited about. But yeah, so Friday is June 13th. That's in Cleveland, Ohio, going back to the motherland with the Browns. And then we go to Pittsburgh. Maybe Aaron Rodgers can come by and say hi, dude. That's on the 14th. And then, yeah, and then we got Bohemian Grove. Just go to samtripoli.com. Grab those tickets, dude.
And then what do we got in July? We got Boston and Connecticut, right?
Yeah, Boston, Connecticut as well, dude. So, gonna start ramping it up, dude. A lot of good times. Bohemian Grove got canceled, moved. Now we're in a new venue.
Oh,
it's so fun.
Oh, it's still going on though, right?
It's still going on. But yeah, so we're in it, guys. How's living in LA going for you guys? You guys enjoying it or what? Is it the best time ever?
I've had a bunch of people over the weekend because I had a Jiu-Jitsu tournament at my school Sunday, and people were hitting me up. Goes, what about the riots? What about are we safe to go? I would have not known about the riots at all, and I've
been feeling this, dude.
Yeah, I'm like, I wouldn't even know there were like people think that like, are you okay? I got a couple texts today. Are you okay? I'm like, I mean, they're only in a couple spots, and LA is so gigantic.
And Paramount, by the way, is not LA for a start. Paramount is not LA. That was where one of the big ones was yesterday.
Not LA.
It really isn't, though. It's not even, they called it a suburb of downtown LA is what they called it, but it's just not. It's not LA.
You guys would say BLM was worse, right? In the right aspect?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Without doubt. At its height. Yeah, at its height. Yeah, that was a little, that came close to my house a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it burnt down Lala's, which is on the street corner that I lived on. It was 100.
Yeah. I mean, it was so crazy. People were like riding on that street that were white friends of mine, and they're burning shit down for BLM. So it's like, what are we fucking doing here, man?
I mean, the National Guard patrolled Melrose for days after that happened. It was like living in a different country for a bit, having the.
So again, it's like this illusion. It's shot. The media shoots it in a way that everybody thinks it's pure chaos. I mean, like,
well, have you noticed that there are more media than there are protesters at half these things?
Yeah,
there's somebody swings a camera around, and there's like dozens of people with cameras.
Yeah, it's like each rider gets their own media member.
It's so crazy, dude.
It is crazy. It's really nuts. And, that's, I said when I was in Portland, that's what they did. They just basically, it's like, dude, they made you think Portland was burning, and it was literally like 50 people in a park, in a park.
Yeah.
But you thought, I remember going there, and I go to the guys opening for them. I'm like, let's go find a riot. They're like, we haven't seen one yet. I'm like, damn, let's go riot hunting. So we went down there, and dude, it was really tiny, and that's why I feel there. When I was watching the cameras the other day, they had to really shoot all over the place to find any pockets of anything. It's like really weird.
It's just so big, and it always brings me back to like stuff like this, like the Civil War, like before the telephone or internet. Like, how would anybody know what was going on, like in a battle? In like Mississippi, you could be in Alabama, not know like who's keeping. How do you coordinate these battles? you know, in the Civil War. I wonder if the Civil War was like super hyped up. Like it was just a couple battles and they made it seem like the whole fucking country was on fire.
Well, they do have this saying that like 2 walkie-talkies would have changed the entire if the South could have just been given 2 walkie-talkies because there are so many times
Really?
they were just operating independent of each other, the armies, and if they could have just been at the same place and coordinated, they would have. I mean, there's a couple of times where like generals lost orders, you know, and the enemy intercepted them, and it just completely changed the face of you know the war at those points when that
If
happened.
they could have gotten one of those talk to text phones, you know what I'm saying?
Nextel, if Nextel had been around for
it was
General
Nextel,
Sherman
we
or
would
whatever,
have been living a
Yeah, it would've
totally
been even
different thing. That's hilarious, dude. I forget what it was, what battle it was. It was like some battle of Waterloo or something like that. Like they said all these people died, but there was no bodies, and then they realized that like they used bodies for soap or something. Like it's like a really weird story that there were no. Have you heard this? Like,
No, I'll try to look it up. But,
yeah,
well, I know in the Civil War they would fly balloons.
It wouldn't surprise me if the Civil War was just like
told theater.
Yeah, or like partially, or like it's hard
Script,
to.
Yeah.
In the 1800s, how the fuck do you coordinate a civil war?
Yeah, 100%, dude.
Well, no, I mean there are examples of guys that fought months later. Yeah, that after the war had ended, they were still fighting and dying because they hadn't gotten to the corner of Alabama or wherever the fuck they were set up.
Dude,
how would they know what they're fighting for and when to fight? Like, there's no.
Well, they would come to your house. I mean, it's just like Ukraine. It was all conscription.
Hey man, you're fighting. I'm like, dude, I'm fat and tired. I'm not going anywhere.
Everybody got the newspaper back then.
Just shoot yourself right in the foot. I got a bad foot. I ain't going.
There was a lot of that. Yeah. And the North started doing bounties because they couldn't get people to volunteer because people were like, what the fuck is this? And so they were called, what were they called? Bounty jumpers or something like that. They would come in and then get another piece of, another document like with their ID and just keep going around and getting paid to join the army. I bet
there was a shit ton of people that lived in America during the Civil War that had no fucking idea there was a Civil War. I bet there was a shit ton that had fucking no idea. Like dudes that like hillbillies and people that were like how would they know?
I mean, I will say my people lived in the middle of fucking nowhere, and my great grandfather got drafted, and they came and just grabbed his ass, and he was at Gettysburg. So I don't.
That is crazy.
Yeah. And how do they know it's him though? Just kind of saying someone lives on the outside of town, go get him.
Well, everybody has you're a citizen, so you have birth documents and everything. That all gets sent to the county, and then the state has a backup of it. I've actually seen my great grandfather's draft card. It's all digitized now, and all all of the documents that he would have had back then. It's strange. It's really weird.
Who knows, dude? You just know everything's a psyop. Now you got Laura Loomer calling for like Palantir to come in and spy on everybody.
How stupid.
And it's just like nuts to me. Now, Eddie, you and I have talked about it, like they have a lot of our stuff. Like they have our eyes, they have our medical history, all that. You get through this. But this Palantir stuff to me is a little different because now it's like going to be cameras everywhere. Like all the time, like making like right now, there's no cameras for jaywalking. I know there is like a couple traffic cameras where basically if you go through a red light, they get you, even though those have kind of gone away. But what are your thoughts on that whole thing with Palantir and all that shit?
When are they going to start giving speeding tickets? Like just because they just have your GPS and they know you're speeding.
Yeah, that's it, dude.
You just get busted.
Well, they do that in England, right? Every overpass has cameras on it, and you see people in England, they bomb at like 100 miles an hour and then slow down and then bomb.
Well, how do you think your GPS works? Like or you ever like check traffic? You stay away from freeways that are all red. You're looking for the yellow and the green, right? That's all from cell phones. That's all cell phones. All they do is they go, oh look.
You're totally right.
The cell phones aren't moving right here. It's red.
Yeah, you're
Why don't
totally
we just
right.
get automatic speeding tickets? Boom, just bam, just boom. You just get a text message. You just got a speeding ticket.
Bravo, why are you
That's
giving them
China.
ideas?
That's
Why are you
China,
giving them
dude.
ideas, Bravo?
What?
Why are you giving them ideas, Bravo? Do we really want them? Just you get a text message, hey, we went over the speed limit five
Hey,
miles an hour.
I
Here's a
drive in the
ticket.
slow lane, dog. I'm not worried about that shit. I'm always in the slow lane. I drive slow, so I have nothing to worry about. You only have something to worry about if you're constantly breaking the law by speeding. Slow down, dog.
I'm trying,
Slow
dude.
down,
I am
my
trying
boy.
my hardest, dude. I am trying my fucking hardest not to drive fast.
Well, you know what the biggest scam is? Those toll lanes going to San Diego where they don't even tell you until it's already late. Like that's the only state. California's the only state that won't send you.
They
a bill
trick you. They do.
already,
They trick you.
Yeah, it's a trick. Yeah, to not get a bill until it's already overdue. No other state does that. Relies on you noticing the signs and then paying it later. It's crazy. Such a scam.
But imagine just owning a road, dude. You just own a road.
Yeah.
You just own
Ridiculous.
a giant road, and you're just like, oh, you drive on here, you owe me $5. And then if you don't get it, it's $1,000.
Don't we pay half our paychecks every goddamn week for roads and shit? Now you know what? We don't have enough of your tax money.
Yeah, it's out of control, dude. Taxes are out of control. I've finally gotten there. I'm in my Michael Douglas falling down moment with with taxes, dude. I just can't take this shit.
Yeah, water should be free. All roads should be free, right? Why are we paying for water? Like, we shouldn't have to pay for water. We pay so much in taxes.
Would you want free government water though? Like,
well,
probably not, right?
I'd rather not. I mean, we're paying for government water. What would you rather have, free government water or pay?
You think it's gonna be better? The free government water is gonna be better than the tap shit that's got fluoride and all that bullshit in it.
But don't they recommend you drink that? Isn't to them drinkable?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, government. The government will tell you that tap water is drinkable. They'll tell you it's drinkable. You say you can drink it with no harm.
Here's a rule: assume the government is lying.
Yeah,
that's just kind of how I can do it. Just assume they're lying. But I'm really kind of like, I'm just like, dude, PSYOP season takes no days off. No days off. We've gotten a new PSYOP every other day. It's great.
It's kind of like, I mean, these days it's like, what are the celebrities pushing? And then, okay, that's the PSYOP. Just listen to the celebrities and go, okay, whatever they're saying, it's the other side that's correct.
Yeah,
right?
I'm with you on that. I saw a couple of my friends who I love very much just talking about how much they hate ICE, and I'm not on ICE's side either. Okay, I just, the ATF, the FBI, all that, they're all the same, dude. And I'm not saying I just don't think there's any good guys in the story, and I think grabbing people's families, that's got to be rough on people, so I understand why people are upset. But dude, these people in Hollywood that have had their city burned and now they're having riots while Karen Bass is still in office, I find it just crazy to me that ICE is the one you hate. Like, it's just crazy to me. It's just crazy that this town is just burning everywhere. She's just hopscotching in areas, setting them on fucking fire, dude. And it's just nuts. You did the rich one, you did downtown, which is just an insane asylum. Burn that down now. And like the cops just sit there for the most part because they want it burned down. Then you can flip it into 50 mid cities. The same thing they did with George Floyd. I mean, I'm going to say one thing. I don't think this thing has kicked it off like they thought it would. I think they kick off LA. They make it
to be crazier.
Well, I think they kick off LA and then they expect people in other cities to watch. Like, we gotta do it too, and that's how like BLM took off and all that stuff. And you don't see it happening.
Hey, Sam, you've seen the video that's going around of you from 2 years ago on Rogan.
Yeah,
all this shit.
Yeah.
Can you play, Jonathan? Can you play this, Johnny?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I'll find it. It's all in my timeline. Hold on.
Dude, you're a fucking prophet. You're like when Alex Jones predicted 9/11.
I know.
Crazy. How did you know
with Callan, right? It's you with Callan too.
Yeah.
You know how crazy it is what you said? You said they're gonna drop Pride Month or not, or drop pushing Pride so much, and then start with immigration riots. You said that 2 years ago. How the fuck did you know?
Well, I had a guest come on, Mel K, and she was telling me, and it was so crazy because like we did the episode, and then the next day Starbucks is like, yeah, we're done with the gay pride shit. Get out of here. And I was like, damn, bro.
All right, here we go.
I wonder why they have to get rid of the gay pride stuff. Like, why not just keep that? Like, I don't get it.
No, it's still their month today. Today's still their month.
All right, here we go. You got it.
You had a conspiracy for us at dinner, but Joe made you wait. What was it?
Oh yeah, that's right. What was it?
You want? Well,
which one was it?
What's gonna happen?
Oh yeah, you want to know what's gonna happen? Yeah. With what?
In this country.
Okay, yeah, I said.
Yeah. You want to hear now?
Yeah. Tap me in.
We're in the Bolshevik war right now, bro. And right now what's coming up is all the pride stuff is going to be, okay, so I had this woman come on my podcast. Her name's Mel K. And we had gotten in real trouble on this show before because we talked about this one family that I will not name, okay? And every time we named this family, the 4 tech gods all came down and just fucked my show. Just
the Rothschilds?
All of, no. I'm not saying their name, bro.
Brian's trying to tank his own show.
Yeah.
That's how much he loves the deep state.
Yeah. So she comes out again. We just mentioned what happened on the show. They do it to us again. We just mentioned their name. You remember when we talked about them and they took... It happens again.
Damn.
So
what are they doing when this happens? Let me say they do this to you. What do they do to you?
Okay, so on Apple, Google, Twitter, and Facebook all effed me.
How so?
Like shadow ban, suppression?
No, even worse. Even worse. So on Apple, they listed my podcast that no one listened to it for like they showed nobody listening to the podcast.
So they block people from listening
to
it?
They won't like show when you downloads. Go to see what how your podcast is doing, it listed nobody. Not just one episode. Multiple episodes. I got strikes and deletes on my YouTube channel. That shit was crazy, Johnny, right?
Totally, yeah. Never seen anything like it.
Yeah, so it was just like boom, 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 all on one thing when I named
this. What did you mention that this family had done that was so egregious?
This is funny because it involves something to Brian. That basically this family is so rich that people think that the CFR is just basically their board of trustees of all their companies. The CFR. I love Brian. He's so full of it, dude. I love him so much. What are you talking about, dog? Right.
They're the people that taught you how to jerk off.
Yeah. They're the ones that taught you how to tie your fucking shoes.
My favorite is Joe's like, you don't believe in conspiracy things because you love your dad.
So Mel K comes on my show, and she's like, she goes, I've been talking to some people in the intelligence, and they go, this gay pride stuff is going away, and the next thing you're going to see are immigration riots. This is going to be right around the next election. So, hand to God, we do this episode. Next day, Starbucks is like, we're banning all the pride stuff. And now you start seeing they're putting little breadcrumbs out, man. Little breadcrumbs. Oh, I saw this one thing in Chicago. Oh, yeah, illegal immigrants are upset about where they're staying. And these illegal immigrants who speak no English. By the way, I don't speak English there either. English signs saying we're tired of how we're being treated. And now you're starting to see this over and over again. Eric, so everyone's always like when all these Republican governors are like sending these immigrants all over the country, everyone's like, yeah, you're showing those Democrats. Bro, they're moving assets. I know it sounds crazy, but that is 100%
What do you mean they're moving assets? What do you mean?
Dude, these guys coming into the country, bro, have you seen them? A lot of them are Chinese. And a lot of them are military-age people. Too. And I'm telling you, they're moving. And this is what's going to be right around 2024 election. That's the part where I get long. It's 6 months after. People going nuts. And as listen to this, and you'll start seeing all the little breadcrumbs being put out.
May I give you another scenario?
Oh, no.
May I give you another possible scenario? What if we do have open borders, thank you, Joe Biden, and a complete disaster down the border, and so governors like Greg Abbott are going, how about you guys want a taste of what we're dealing with? Hey, New York, here you go. They bust 13,000 immigrants in New York. Eric Adams goes, we don't have the resources for this.
Yeah, Brian.
And that's a good way to teach the blue states to change their border policies.
That's what they want you to think. That's how you get into...
This is Brian. Look, I'm a puppet master.
I'm telling you, that's what they want you to think.
You're buying it.
Oh, I thought
they're moving assets. All right, you can stop it. Thank you, Johnny. Yeah, dude.
Crazy.
You nailed it.
Do you know what else I nailed on his show?
What?
I predicted Kamala Harris would replace Joe Biden. And I did a whole thing because I had a guest come on, Jeff Hilliard, and he's a sober companion, and one of his clients was
It's
like
so crazy, dude.
A high-end escort, right? Who used to fucking party with Hunter Biden. And this was before the election of 2020. So she was partying with him, dude, and he's like, yeah, so this is what's gonna happen. They're gonna force my dad in, they're gonna have Kamala Harris as his running mate, and then they're gonna force my dad out, and she's gonna be president. And I told him that story, and then bang, dude, it happened, but it happened way later than they wanted. See, here's the thing. I think they have plans, and based on the data determines when they roll it out. And if it's not the right time, then they don't roll it out. And that's my opinion on this immigration riots. It's because like maybe Palantir's ready to, form and do what they need to do.
Oh, so you think that maybe the tech wasn't even ready? Yeah, is that what you're saying?
Possible, dude. Like, why didn't they run it out? What was it that Kamala Harris was losing so badly that it wasn't even they couldn't even fake that nobody liked her?
Yeah, when she's like winning with Latino men. Yeah. Those are the people you really need to have immigration riots. You need
that's why you got thick ass AOC going, dude. She's getting thick, dude. She's getting.
You think that's on purpose?
I'm okay with that.
You think that they're making her thick to
She's
get
getting
the
older
Latino man
too,
vote?
dude. And you know those Latinas, dog. They hit a certain age,
hey,
they
Sam,
get weird.
Can you say that family now?
I can't.
Can you tell me what letter it starts with?
Yeah, P. I can't tell you. You can't say it. I'll send you the episode.
Okay.
So you get it and you can listen to it. But yeah, you can't say it.
The last name starts with a P.
The last name starts with a P.
And
now we've said too much, Eddie. Even that can enter into a danger zone. Okay, even that's crazy because we didn't even mention her name when she came on. We didn't even mention her name again. They're like, "Hey, dog, stop fucking with us." So Ian Carroll does a whole video on it, and I'm like, Ian, dude, watch yourself. You're talking about the family in which you're not supposed to talk about. And hand to God, his Twitter got in trouble after that. So, like, he's like, yeah, they've been shadow banning me pretty hard on Twitter. I'm like, yeah, dog, you talked about the family you're not supposed to talk about.
Damn.
Crazy.
Okay.
It's crazy, dude. I'll send you a link.
That was like a light switch. I mean,
and dude, it's not just me. Ask Johnny, dude. Yeah. He was like, what the hell, dude? Our Facebook's down, our Twitter's down, our Google, our YouTube is getting asked.
The internet goes down sometimes. The internet just randomly goes out.
Just you bringing it up, Eddie, has caused Xavier's Wi-Fi to go shitty, dude. Okay,
yeah. I mean, just glitchy. Come on.
Well, that's because he lives in Boyle Heights.
Yeah, dude.
I'd be gone if I lived in Boyle Heights. You don't want to be in Boyle Heights. Right
you need to go down there and do some "we don't smoke the same" content, dude.
Not a bad idea.
Hanging out. No smoke the same right now.
Yeah. Hey, now Sam.
How about sorry, hold that thought, Johnny. Hey, what'd you think about the fucking the cougar with the tits out yelling that everyone should do ayahuasca? Have you seen that video?
No, where's that?
Oh, there's a chick downtown. It just like buck naked.
Mid-riot?
Yeah, mid-riot. Buck naked in sneakers.
Oh, I got it here. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, and she just like, I am God. We should do ayahuasca. And she's like buck naked. She got titties going all different ways.
You see
but you can see the real. You could see the titties if you wanted to. They're out there.
Okay. I mean, actually, he's gonna have to do the.
Oh yeah.
Hot.
Oh my God, that was hilarious.
Yeah. But it's so hilarious because it's just like, I don't know what it is. We talked about this before, Johnny, on Broken Sim. There's something about women, whenever they want to make a statement and fight back, they get naked. And it's like the weirdest protest I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. That was the whole thing of the feminists burning the bras. I think it's because they view bras as a symbol of the patriarchy, genuinely.
Yeah. I view it as we're trying to give you so you got some tits when you're 45. And they're not fucking scraping the cement.
Well, guys just can't help but constantly checking genetics. No matter what's going on, you can be in the deepest conversation, about death, and some hot chick passes by, and you and your boy gonna look over, do a little quick genetics check, and then you're back to the conversation. So they're taking advantage of that's like, in our DNA. We're constantly checking genetics.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. Have you ever been like just hanging out and a girl walks by and you just want to check genetics and she just suddenly puts her hand above her ass, knowing that you are gonna stare?
Yes.
It's so hilarious.
That's proof of a sixth sense right there, because that happens all the time.
Okay, you don't need to look right now. You don't need to look. But, and then you get into it, like women play into that too, because women could wear sweatpants at the airport if they want to. If they really just want to be comfortable, you could totally put on sweatpants. But you wear yoga pants, which is making us look. So it's like
they say it's comfortable. I don't know.
I'm sure it is comfortable.
More comfortable than sweatpants. You think so? I don't think they're that comfortable. Better than sweatpants? Better than a nice pair of sweatpants.
When you put on those Jiu-Jitsu pants, they're really tight. They're nice. I could walk around in like around town in those things, like a fucking ninja. I love those. So I get that, but it's like you know what you're asking for, which is someone staring at that fat ass.
Yeah, and most girls, when they're single, and they're looking for a mate on their social media, they're gonna, whenever they can, they're gonna show their genetics and show the male species how ready they are to pass on your genes, and how well they distribute fat. They're showing you how well they distribute fat, because that's very important, because that's because the brain, the baby's brain in the third trimester is created from a woman's ass. And that's real. That's real shit. So that's why we check out the ass, to make sure that our child is going to be have a healthy brain.
Dr. Bravo, dude, dropping science, dude. I'm all about that.
That's what I'm here for, man. I'm here to help people. When I was single, back in the single days, there was this one, back in the MySpace days, there was this one girl that we were going back and forth thinking about dating maybe a little bit, and, I was checking her pictures for her genetics, and there was not one shot of her gluteus maximus. There was no shots at all. You couldn't tell. I'm like, damn. So I had no idea what her genetics was, and the symmetry on her face was her face was very nicely symmetric. Okay, so I went out on a date with her. She comes over, and she had the most genetic glutes. I'm like, why are you hiding this? And she told me she was hiding her genetics because she got too many genetic checks. And it was affecting her daily life. And I'm like, no wonder, like she was hiding it. And it was like one of the best ones I ever saw. My son's brain would have been fucking on fire. It would have been like Nikola Tesla.
Little Einstein.
So how is your son into that age where it's all about girls now?
Oh, well, he's 13 now, but he hasn't really hit puberty yet. Any day now, though. Any
day, dude. It's gonna be blossoming.
Any day.
And that's on, dude.
Yeah. So far, he hasn't really. He's shown he's got a couple little girlfriends, but like they're just friends. Like there's no there's signs of puberty at this point. So far.
He's a good-looking kid, dude. A good-looking kid for a son, dude. So, have you looked into any of this Karen Bass stuff? Anything into the Newsom stuff? Do you have any thoughts on that? Anything into like the $100 million that disappeared from the fire festival, or whatever it is? Sorry, what's going on here?
I don't know that much about the mayor. But all I know is before the fires and the Palisades, wasn't she recorded saying something like, get out of town.
Yeah.
Get crazy. That kind of shit. Like, what was that about?
Well, she did. So James O'Keefe got a voicemail, a phone message that had been recorded, a phone conversation. And she was like, listen, I'm going to be leaving for 2 days. Okay. Only 2 days. Okay. I have to go. I won't be available. And you'll understand why when what happens. Okay. I can't talk about it, but you'll understand why. And the guy's like, hey, I just want to help you. Like, what do you need me to do? Are you gonna be okay? I just have to go for 2 days. You'll understand. In that tone, it was like so creepy. And I've been saying this is like Karen Bass. Johnny, your thoughts on this? Karen Bass is basically. Oh, here it is.
Yeah. Now we should know that she's talking about like some part of downtown that was a shit show or something. There was like a real homelessness crisis going on. So that's the kind of piece that's not obvious here, but that's what she's talking about.
And just in terms of my trip, just so you know, I'm missing 2 work days. That's it. And if President Biden extends me an invitation, I took it. And hopefully you can read in between the lines. But I would just appreciate and it's hard for me to tell you this, but hold tight. You will understand soon.
I'm sorry, Johnny.
Yeah, there it is. Addressing the growing safety issues in MacArthur Park is not her area of
The
expertise.
situation is very dangerous, and I would never do. I will take the criticism before I do a publicity stunt. And frankly, a press conference at this point in time would just be publicity.
I think
the
neighbors, the property owners,
yeah,
and the residents. I mean, 41,000 people live within a square mile here.
Yeah.
2 families share a 1-bedroom apartment.
But they want to hear that something is going to be done.
They want to know it's
we aren't doing shit, so why would we have a press
recognized?
Exactly. But if I have a choice between that and compromising something, I just have to go along with it.
God!
It's not my area of expertise. I want to make sure that you are safe. And hopefully you can read in between the lines.
All right, shut down.
Yeah, that's where you get back to the beginning.
That's crazy shit, dude. I mean, have you looked into anything about Johnny? Will you go to my Twitter? I know I tweet a shit ton, but there is a lot about Karen Bass that's coming out. Like Mike Benz, who's is doing all these deep dives into USA Aid, talks about how she's been number 2 at a CIA cutout, which his whole job is to kind of start these kind of groups to start fire.
Yeah, I saw. It's been a while. Do you want me to search it?
Well, dude,
there you go, right here.
Yeah, here's one of them. As a reminder, while the riots raging, here we go. Bass was a Fidel Castro supporter. She was a member of the, how do you pronounce that, Johnny? Vincent.
Ask XG. That's Spanish.
How do you say that?
Versamos
Brigade, and made 7 trips to Cuba during the 1970s when it was illegal to do so. Yeah. And then you can get into like she's supposedly part of some paramilitary rebel group that bombed a federal building, which is the whole thing to me is that I 100% believe that Karen Bass is like the real life version of Kingpin.
Interesting. Yeah.
You know, like was a criminal, rebranded, somehow convinced everybody, and just became the cop, became the mayor, and now they're like, now she's just destroying the city. It's like so insane to me that my friends are yelling about ICE, and I get it. But like you just have one person in charge when all this shit show's happening. I mean, 2025 is nuts, dude.
Yes.
It's nuts.
Well, did you think that it would, because it seems as though, would you say Trump is doing exactly what they would have him do right now by calling in the National Guard?
Well, my whole opinion is like this is coordinated.
Yeah.
I think they want to, you know, it's called the what is it called? It's the something capitalist conspiracy by G. Edward Griffin. And it breaks down. They support both sides. Both sides are in on it. They both want their own thing, but you cause the chaos, you bring in the whether it's National Guard or the Marines, whatever, and then you bring in martial law, and these people don't like to give up these executive powers that they get through chaos. I mean, we're still taking off our shoes in an airport. I mean,
oh yeah, what's that? Somebody has a saying that there's nothing more permanent than a temporary government program.
Yeah, 100%. I guarantee you that what's her face still has fucking Gavin Newsom still has COVID executive powers.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you saw Trump just said no mask at protests. I don't know how you're going to stop no mask at protests, but yeah,
because that's how they can't. So they can't, because then the Palantir can't see who you are. So the next thing is we got to get these real life masks that look like a real life, like, some CIA stuff, and just use their own mask against them.
They'll be able to do it from your eyes. Very.
But my thing is, how do you know? How do you know they're already not using it? The Palantir. How do you know they're not using it already?
They probably are.
I think they are. They just want to. Oh, they just want to kind of let us in on it. But I think
my
if they have it,
problem is because it brings in, like, dude, if they got my info, I'm like, yeah. I mean, what can you do about that? That's a game you play, unless you get a bub phone, and then you don't play that game. But this game you play. But the problem is, comes with social credit score. Like just today, we had, on one of my podcasts, we had a guest, a sponsor, decide not to sponsor because they said I was on a cautions list.
What?
Yeah.
What pod?
Cash Daddies.
What was the advertiser? Fuck them now, I guess.
I forget what it is.
What field something. Was it? What kind of thing was it?
It's like a Google type thing, I guess. I don't know. I don't even remember.
Like internet search?
Yeah. I guess they internet searched my name.
Man, there's so many podcasts out there and podcast hosts that are going so hard on the paint.
Yeah.
Like, why are you even messing with like us? Like, we're so 2000 and late. You know what I mean? We're so like
we're old bulls, dude.
Like Candace Owens, dude, who goes harder in the paint than her? Like
every day.
Fuck, she goes hard, dog. Like, holy shit. Like, and then there's a bunch now coming out, like Jimmy Dore. He goes fucking hard, dog. Hard. It's like, wow. Like,
which is crazy when you consider where he came from. I mean, he used to straight down the middle Democrat as they come, just the die.
Well, yeah, that's what they always say. The left needs their own Joe Rogan. Yeah, it was Jimmy Dore.
Yeah.
Jimmy Dore was super left. It's just like you're not on the side of truth. That's why you can't do. You have to be authentic, man. So Gavin Newsom, worse human being or worse human being? Which one is it? Like, what's this guy going to run for next? And how does he have a chance? Anybody? Okay, like, there's no way these elections are real. There's no way. There's no way.
A lot of dumb people in California.
People out there still.
I know, dude. I miss the weather. I love the Dodgers. I just don't know how much longer I can sit in stupid anymore. I'm just like a frog in a stupid bowl.
You don't have to hang out with anybody. You just hang out in your house. If you moved to Idaho, you'd be in your house.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
I am in my house. I am in my house all the time.
I just love walking down the streets and meeting people, and they're all just so dumb. You can be on your couch, or you're going to be in front of your computer doing a podcast.
Or you could go to Austin and get like murdered by the smiley face killer.
Yeah,
you're way out of his demographic, Sam.
Yeah, I know. I've aged out. I'm no longer a suitable piece of ass to kill.
I know you're fucking upset about that. Who's upset they're not going to get killed? Sam would be the only person. Well,
I won't kill him. He won't kill me.
He's also boning him too before he kills him, Sam.
Well, there's thought that they're in snuff films.
Yeah, yeah. I'm glad I'm out of that demographic.
I am too, dude. I'm just like, yeah. So you never moved to Texas, Eddie?
Fuck no.
Eddie, P. Diddy trials. What do you think? All your heroes are gay?
I think at the top, I think you have to get your butt broken to get that high level. That's what it looks like. It's looking like that. Like, if your butt ain't broken, and it looked like DMX, man. DMX, that's the realest motherfucker out there. He went against it, and he's no longer with us, man. I wonder if that had anything to do with it, but he's the realest rapper that's ever existed.
I've been saying this forever. If you're on television or movies, I'm assuming you got your ass clapped by P. Diddy at this point, dude. I mean, it is just nuts, dude. It's like the 2005 BET Awards. Everybody up there testifying, bro. I don't know how he gets out of this, even if they haven't proved the case. I don't see how.
I think the opposite. I think he OJs this. I think a mistrial and he walks out, or he already did enough time where he's not going to get caught on any crazy stuff and he walks out. Bill Cosby did. All of them have.
It seems like they're only talking about like freak offs and
yeah,
they're not talking about like, you know, illegal shit. They're talking about like legal shit that, I mean, the only thing that's illegal so far, I mean, I haven't paid it that close attention, was him hitting Cassie, like him like beating her and hitting her like on tape. Like,
wasn't his assistant saying that she like essayed him? Wasn't his assistant saying that to him? That
he essayed her.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy if someone sexually assaulted P.
She's like, actually, I
held him down and I gyrated all over him.
Well, but she was saying,
you know who's going to testify? You know who's going to testify? You guys remember that guy that shot up Trump's building?
Yeah.
And he went in there and said he was one of the sex workers. He's going to testify, which is crazy because he said Tupac is alive. So it's hard to believe anything comes out of his mouth.
Let's go, bro. Let's go. No, PSYOP season takes no days off. No days off. Every day is a new PSYOP.
What do you think about the Elon Trump feud? You think that's fake?
It'd be the biggest story right now if it wasn't for all this shit going on. I mean, think about how that's gotten buried. It's crazy.
Yeah, we talked about it. Yeah, man. I think Trump's response to it is nuts. By not responding,
not consistent with his character is what.
Yeah, that was very weird to me. I have different thoughts on it. It could be that he's upset he didn't get the Palantir contract. You know, like he wants to be the company that puts all that in. He could also be, you know, it's like we have some real transhumanism issues with Elon Musk, so we know that. But he seems to be pretty passionate about this budget and getting it under, you know, getting into the green. And they just want to pass this big, beautiful bill, and it's just full of chaos. Yeah. And the one thing is, you can't make any laws against AI for 10 years. That's eternity in the internet. You can't regulate AI for 10 years? Like, just bring on the Terminators at this point. I don't know if this is a real video, but they had robot dogs downtown. I'm like, if that's real, our dystopian nightmare is here. I don't know if it's real. Some people say it's fake, but what's your thoughts, dude?
I mean, everything Trump touches or embraces, the demons try to destroy it, right? So you don't think he knows that? I think there's a chance. I don't know. There's just a theory. You know, he was anti-vax before Operation Warp Speed, but then all of a sudden he's pro-vax. And now, after it's all said and done, after the dust is settled, there's more anti-vaxxers than ever before. The vaccine industry is on its last legs, right? It happened. And then Fauci. You go, why didn't Trump fire Fauci? Well, Trump did fire Fauci. And if he did, no one would even know about Fauci. And now everybody knows that, you know, about the AIDS stuff that he was involved in. And that everybody knows Fauci. It's going to be hard for him to walk down the street. So did he put Fauci in the spotlight? Did he put vaccine manufacturers in the spotlight? Yeah, you know, like it didn't matter how much Trump pushed Operation Warp Speed. I wasn't going to take the jab. You know what I mean? So that they probably know that. They would. You know, the people, if there is a plan. And I always thought Trump bringing in Elon, I'm like, damn, is he doing this to kill electric vehicles? Because Trump is so pro drill, baby. He loves oil.
Interesting.
And he's anti-climate. He got us out of the Paris Accords. Trump is not, it doesn't buy climate change at all. And he loves oil, drill. And look what's happening. Tesla gets destroyed. Bring them in, power them up, and then boom, everyone goes against Tesla and all the electric cars. Like people are driving around changing their
Yeah.
So I don't know. To think that the Trump crew doesn't know that whatever he touches is destroyed, and they're not taking advantage of that. I don't know.
Hold on. Oh, okay, so you're saying anything Trump touches gets destroyed?
So he's touching things that he wants destroyed.
Okay, interesting. That is a very interesting take.
That would explain him touching that pussy back then.
Hey,
that's. I mean, okay, so
same thing with the big. Like, I don't know about this bill, the big bill. Who wrote this big beautiful bill? What did Trump do it, or who did it? And
I mean, it's a lot of his ideas, yeah.
And what is it about? Like, what is it?
It's just more government spending, except like kind of more Republican style programs. Here, I'll give you a list. Hold on. But I think Elon was butthurt that all the stuff he was working to scrape up pennies, and this with all of his work at Doge, and then this bill just kind of undoes all of that by replacing it. Because we're spending 25% of the revenue for the government. This is what Elon tweeted. Goes to finance the debt, goes to interest. So 25% of revenue that the government takes in is just going to interest right now.
Thank you. Who's
debt.
been telling you that for fucking
Crazy.
ever? Getting yelled at by everybody. Your tax dollars go to pay off the interest on the loan. Name me a bank that lends money that doesn't collect interest. I'll wait. I'll hold my breath and I'm going to die, okay? Because it doesn't exist.
Okay.
I go on Tim Pool's show and the guy's like, yeah, they just take it in because they want to burn it off, get it out of circulation. Bro, you're crazy. It's a bank. They lend money. They get interest. That's how they make money, and we're never meant to pay it off. This is how they're going to destroy the dollar.
Like they've added to SNAP benefits. That's the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, for low-income people who use it for food. They've added to that. No tax on overtime or tips and other elements. That's going to cause less revenue. I mean, there's it's just all, boring. It's just boring stuff that it's kind of, they've taken.
Another thing.
What they didn't cut is mostly pissing people off, I think.
Another thing, I don't know too much about the big, beautiful bill, but it kind of sounds like, because it's got the big, beautiful bill, it sounds like something Trump would name, right? And maybe Trump really wants this to get crushed. So he's promoting it so it gets crushed. I don't know. Maybe nobody knew what Palantir was 3 weeks ago. Now the whole world knows what Palantir is and that they're involved in all the intelligence agencies.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Everybody knows Palantir.
I'm not against it. That's a very interesting take.
And then what about, no president is more pro-Israel than Trump, right? Right?
Yeah.
Dude, he's with the yarmulkes and everything.
He's with the yarmulkes and everything.
Think about that.
Yeah. Hey, dude.
Palantir, it's like there's a spotlight on it now. Nobody knew what it was. The Palantir don't want to be famous. They don't need to be famous. Why would they want to be famous? It does not help them at all to be famous. You know what I mean? They're not getting paid by your everyday consumer. They'd rather stay, behind the curtain, Same, and then look, Trump is super pro-Israel. And then look what's going on. I don't know.
It's the anti-Midas touch.
He's a human poison pill. It's really what
I don't know what is real and what's not.
That's super interesting.
Okay, so they call it Trump's one big beautiful bill is what they call it. It says it would make Trump's 2017 tax cuts permanent. So we know that's something he wants because he did it before. No tax on tips or overtime through 2028. The child tax credit is boosted to $2,500. That's up from it'll go down to $2,000 in 2028. Salt deduction cap raised. I don't know what that is. Gun suppressors tax repealed. It's about time. Creates the Trump accounts. That's $1,000 savings account for babies, for like infants. There's the $5 remittance tax on money sent abroad. by undocumented families. So people sending money to their families overseas. You know, like a lot of people will immigrate here and then send money home. There's going to be a 5% tax on that. New work requirements for verification checks, cut snap, 150 billion in military spending, new military spending. That includes drones and naval expansion, border wall enforcement. That's 40 billion for barriers, 4 to 5 billion for personnel, tech, and other enhancements. The 10-year ban you mentioned on AI, state level AI regulations. Now, I should say, Sam, it's just state level regulations. It's not federal. The federal government can still regulate AI if this goes through. It's just the states can't have their own.
Does that not sound disastrous?
Yes, of course it does.
I mean, look at COVID. Look what COVID did when you had the federal government and state rights. It's literally backwards. It's like, oh, dude, we learned from COVID. We can't let these states tell us what to fucking do. The federal, like, and dude, I get caught on that all the time because there's time that there's like, you know, what matters more, state rights or federal rights, you know? And I really like it when the you know, they're doing things I like, right? With guns and COVID, like stopping COVID, I'm all for it. But then when a state does something I don't like, that I'm like, hey man, the federal government should step in. It's like you can't have it both ways, man. So I think this is a horrible idea. I think state rights should always trump federal government rights, the federal government rights. And, you know, you're just going to have some states where all the retards move, and we're probably in it, and they're going to pass retarded, just absolutely ridiculous laws. Like, there's a law in this state that if your kid doesn't get a Hep B shot, they need to have X number of Hep B shots by the time they go to school. Well, what happens if the kid doesn't ever get Hep B? Why do I need both shots? If I didn't get it, I don't need the second shot. You know why? That's fucking money, dude. Everyone cashes checks on this shit. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous, dude. And it's all conformity, man. And you know, the teachers are wonderful people. I really hate this anti-teacher movement, and I get hit up all the time by people. Yeah, there are some bad teachers, but most teachers love their kids. Most teachers love their kids, man. But bro, just the way that parents have no say in any of that shit, in a state that thinks that women should have the right to decide what to do with their body. Well, what if that woman wants to decide what her kid does with his body or her body? It's absolutely ridiculous, dude. And it's all mental gymnastics.
That's funny, isn't it? The government is all about women having every right over their fetus, but once the baby's out of you,
yeah,
it's like now
go fuck yourself.
We got it from here, lady. That's crazy.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
And the school choice thing is insane because if you look at it, they say the idea is some states now will give you like the money that would be going to your kid, you know, to finance their public school education. They'll just say, okay, here's $10,000 to you as a parent, and you can give that to whatever school you want to go to. It's called school choice. And they say that that's taking money away from public schools, but it's actually not, because that money almost everywhere is less than what the government budgets for a kid. So when you take a kid out of that system, they actually have more budget to spread around to the rest of the kids at the public schools. So it's all just a scam. School choices, I mean, if they were doing their jobs, you know, and actually that were competitive with private schools, there'd be everybody.
There's a lot going on with that, Johnny. It's not just the schools. It's just like everybody's working. Every mom, every dad's working. They're spread thin. They can't pay attention to kids like they used to. And these kids aren't going in there.
That's a different issue. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just super deep and it's all done on purpose. It's just crazy to me, dude. It's just crazy. And we're only in June, dude. We still got, oh, dude, I love that cat. That's a gorgeous cat. How many cats you got?
3. This is my little baby right here.
Oh, is this a new one?
Oh, this is the little baby.
Look at that kitty.
He's like almost 1 now, but we got him when he was like 3 weeks. From some girl found him in a dumpster.
Aww.
Yeah. So,
what's his name?
I just call him baby boy, but his name is Griffin. But you know, baby boy. That's what I'm sticking with him.
Yeah, it's nuts, dude. The whole thing is effing nuts. So now Israel's saying they're going to return Greta home safely.
Okay.
which is
and they also said she had
unbelievable.
nothing on the boat, right? Like as far as humanitarian, she was supposed to be delivering humanitarian aid.
Oh
and
yeah,
like
dude.
almost nothing on the boat.
Do you see Israel put out this thing like they drive literally back like by some Haitians in a boat or something? They just keep going. It's all theater, dude. It's all theater the stupid. It's unbelievable, bro. And I'm just glad that I predict the future, bro. You guys are with a psychic. Someday you guys will realize that. Jiu-Jitsu Jesus.
No.
You know what part of all this shit is so confusing? It's really confusing. Because you would say Hollywood and like Greta Thunberg and Hollywood, they're pro-Palestine, right?
Oh my God. Yeah.
Are they?
Who?
Would you say majority of?
Well, the executives, the Hollywood people are pro-Palestine, and the executives are mostly Jewish hardline.
Yeah, and it's like the ones that are really set in their careers where like they can work no matter what are going to be pro-Palestine. The people who just like are fear for their jobs, they're not on nobody's side. They just shut the fuck up. Bunch of conformists.
That part, see, all that is very confusing. Because if Jews control the media, like they say, then why is the media pro-Palestine? It doesn't make any sense. Like that part is confusing.
Well, I mean, when you say the media, I mean there are aspects like CNN. They are very liberal, which is supposed to be pro-Palestine, which I don't understand why.
Is CNN pro-Palestine, like generally?
Yeah.
Have you paid attention?
I think they have real discussions. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if anyone is fully one way. MSNBC seems to be pro-Palestine. I think CNN kind of wades in the kiddie pool of it.
It's why this is a special issue. That issue is we've talked about it. It's a special issue because it's not on the normal dividing lines, because you get into this thing of like, oh, you're being anti-Semitic, once you get to so far pro-Palestinian.
So right now the people are pro-Israel. I call them the October 8thers because all their information stops after October 8th. It's the Zionist, and then it's the Christian Zionist, okay, and then it's like the real red conservatives, mostly over a certain age, 40. Those are the only people that are pro-Israel. And then more people are talking, and they're becoming more and more pro-Palestine. So we're gonna find out who's stronger, humanity or the bankers. That's gonna come out. And this Greta, whatever her name is, like they couldn't assassinate her. It would have been a giant PR problem. A giant one.
You would think, okay, if you had a bet, gun to your head, Greta Thunberg, deep state, right? You would think that, right? Like they're controlling her, right?
Yeah, I think.
Why wouldn't they control her to be pro-Israel?
Because I think the puppet realized she's a real boy. I'm a real boy.
Also, think about it. If Israel got everything they wanted, where does all that defense spending go? If they just if their borders were safe and there was no it's a different kind of Cold War where
I agree with that. But I also think that it's not like there's so much coming out, but nobody cares. Like basically the Israeli government has admitted that ISIS is really the Hamas in Gaza, and they're the ones causing all the chaos. There was never Hamas, and it was all funded by Netanyahu, and nobody seems to care. It's like put another dollar in the conspiracy theorists were right. 18-wheeler of justice. Hey, Johnny, will you go on? This is an edgy video, and I think you would love it. If you want us to cut it out after, we could totally cut it out, Eddie. It is a very funny video.
Where am I going?
Can you go find Crackamiko?
Yeah, I know him. Yeah.
On Twitter, he just put out Dave Portnoy, whatever his name is, video.
He's getting it.
Wait, it's not that video from where he yelled at that guy, is it?
No, no. Well, that's where it starts off. It's the opening of his video. I'm gonna tell you something, man. Crackamiko, he gets into Eminem level with this fucking diss video.
Oh, here it is.
This song. Like, I'm not lying to you. He hits Eminem level.
He's such a retard, Dave Portnoy.
Oh, but dude, he gets annihilated, dude, by Crackamiko. Here we go. Ready? Can you see it?
Shut the fuck up, you bald fuck. Oh, big boss man, don't tell. I'll tell you work for me.
Okay, go ahead.
You
Continue.
little bitch. You work for me.
Sure, you bet. For now.
Oh, you don't? You're literally saying people should be allowed to make Jew jokes, say whatever they want.
Yes, I think people should be allowed to make jokes.
So how many motherfucking Jews haven't you killed before you stop?
Hey, you could joke about death, you could joke about rape, you could joke about Indians or dead babies, laughing at whatever the fuck that you wanna. Only one thing is sacred, that's Davy. Don't joke about Jews, nah. Don't joke about Jews, hey. Don't joke about Jews, don't joke about Jews, don't joke about Dave. You can laugh about blacks, you can laugh about gays, you can laugh about immigrants in them cages. Joke about anything on this earth, but if it's about Jews, then you might as well save it, bitch. Don't joke about Jews, nah. Don't joke about Jews, hey. Don't joke about Jews, don't joke about Jews, don't joke about Jews, don't joke about David, you are a homo, retarded shlomo, dishing what you can't take. Portnoy, the Jewish faggot, stop trying to drag it, mad at the jokes we make. El Rey's the Rente is losing his mind, loading my Glock, got him screaming out 9. How about I tell you some jokes, Mrs. Portnoy, and you tell me what's over the line. All of you people controlling the media, changing the weather, controlling our minds. Hollywood pedophile lawyers and slum lords that would do anything for a dime. What if I said something that you ain't like? What if I called you a kike? What if I noticed somehow you make money whenever a colored man spits in a mic? What if I told you that Israel is evil and it's time to rise up and free Palestine? Or maybe all parties involved are retarded and things would be better if all of them died. Especially the children, I hate them the most. Raise up your glass, I'm proposing a toast in honor of freedom to make any joke even though there's a victim within every roast. You could joke about death, you could joke about rape, you could joke about Indians and dead babies, laughing at whatever the fuck that you wanna. Only one thing is sacred, that's Davy. Don't joke about Jews, nah. Don't joke about Jews, hey. Don't joke about Jews, don't joke about Jews, don't joke about Dave. You can laugh about blacks, you can laugh about gays, you can laugh about immigrants in them cages. Joke about anything on this earth, but if it's about Jews, then you might as well save it, bitch. Don't joke about Jews, nah. Don't joke about Jews, hey. Don't joke about Jews, don't joke about Jews, don't joke about Jews, don't joke about.
Oh, like, see, there we go. There we go. What are you guys fucking laughing about? Exactly.
What a hypocrite.
Which one, what song is more dangerous? Kanye's song or that song?
Ooh, that's a good one. But both are catchy, though, dude. I'll tell you that. They are both catchy. If you play both of those songs in a Thailand ladyboy bar, all the Thai ladyboys are on the fucking floor dancing.
Probably the Kanye song just because it's catchier, I think. But damn.
I think the Kanye song has better music.
Yes. Yeah.
But this guy's lyrics, he had a lot of lyrics.
Dude, he has fire bars, dude.
Big time.
Yeah.
Those are
the fact that the song is called "Don't Joke About Jews," that's of course you don't joke about them. So there's no one should. You shouldn't joke. I mean, Mexicans is okay. You could joke about Mexicans all day. That's fine. We don't give a shit. But dude, don't be joking about fucking Jews, dog.
Well, it's funny. He's such a hypocrite though, because he's told jokes the dirtiest, whatever.
Dude, he put out pictures of Tom Brady's 12-year-old with his fucking giant hammer.
Yeah. And now,
dude,
you know what the
too
joke
already has a hammer.
About? And you know the joke he was pissed about? A guy just called him Rabbi Portnoy that wanted to be on the show. That was the only thing. He just said, "Oh yeah, Rabbi Portnoy." That was it.
Do you think little by little, it's like it just seems like 2 years ago, most people, if we would have played that video, tinfoil hat would have been taken off the air.
Yeah, excommunicated.
Oh, totally. They would have put you. They would have deported you.
Yeah, I would have on a boat to Gaza.
Oh man, it's crazy. It's crazier than ever now. It's so insane.
Or it's getting more and more normal that there are no sacred cows, which I think it should be. I think we should be allowed to talk about everybody. That's my opinion.
You want to know what his defense is? If there's anything, he just said it just happened right now. They're dying right now, so you shouldn't laugh right now. Like he says, like in a month from now. That's what I'm assuming. That in a month from now, that joke.
Oh, is that the official rules?
But it's right now.
What?
Yeah,
who
no,
died?
that's what I'm saying. What are the rules? Huh? No, the Jews. He's saying that you shouldn't be making Jew jokes right now because it's literally happening right now.
Bro, there were 9/11 jokes as soon as the planes hit the building. Like, it's just unbelievable to me, dude. And like, dude, it's like 72 virgin jokes everywhere. Fucking, Middle Eastern porn is just their eye. I mean, you'd have 1,000 mil joke. It's just like, I get it, dude. I mean, I get it, but it's like, I love Jews. I think Jews are great. I love blacks. I love gays. I love everybody. Everyone should be, no one's above criticism, and everybody, you should be able to make jokes about them because everybody's funny as fuck. And everyone's got retards in their groups. Everybody. That's my ending bit. Everybody's retarded. They all do. Like, you can just go through them. They're all fucking retards. You know?
No, you're right.
All right, guys. That was it. Eddie, thanks for coming on. I can't wait to see you this week.
Hell yeah. Thank you, man.
I'll see you on Friday in Cleveland, going back to the mother lane. And then Saturday, we're going to Pittsburgh for 2 shows. Hey guys, also I just dropped 2 crowd work specials. If you go to Sam Tripoli, you can get it right here, but if you go on YouTube, okay, it's on YouTube. It's also at samtripoli.com/@SamTripoliComedy. I got Potty Mouth and Black Crack Robots, 2 special crowd work specials. Check them out. Everyone seems to love them. Shadow banned to the dark realms already, but that's okay. I just want to say my jokes. Eddie, I love you. Xavier, I love you. Johnny, I love you. Thanks for doing the show, and we will talk to you guys soon.
All right, bye.
Here's a clip from the latest Broken Sim.
So Jake Tapper, our favorite, has, he's written this book and has gone on doing a press tour, and he has this comment now that's kind of been making the rounds about something that happened to his son, or a question he was asked about his son. And I'm curious where you think, if they're losing guys like Jake Tapper genuinely, the Democrats are screwed. Anyway,
well,
check us
the
out.
problem is that Jake Tapper is expendable, and they've thrown everything he's lied about on him, as he's expendable. They're just going to throw him out with the trash. You say whatever they tell you to say when you're making that paycheck, and then when it's so obvious that you lied through your teeth, you lose all credibility. And he's trying to grab credibility right now when he's been on the wrong side of every discussion for the last 15 years.
Well, not only especially when you write a book that is essentially your confession to having lied about the health of the president. Because the book is about Biden and how he was falling apart.
I don't know Jake Tapper. I know people that are like, that have basically played the game for the establishment, and then they just run for cover to clean up their lies because it's so obvious that no one likes him. And he's watching everyone around him get axed at CNN, and he's trying to save credibility so people will turn it into a show.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. What do you think is going on here? I'll just play this clip.
On a left-leaning...
He says, I went on a...
podcast that shall remain nameless, and we were talking about my kids, because I think they were both people without kids. And they asked me about my son, and I said he was, he's a football player, and he wants to be a policeman. And their joke was about my 15-year-old son, oh, how does he feel about minorities? Like the idea that he wants to be a policeman, therefore he's racist, my son. And that was the big laugh, and then I got dragged in the comments and all that stuff. And I thought to myself, this is why you fuckers are losing elections.
100%.
Like my football playing son, who has no political views. He's 15. He thinks about World War II and gaming and playing linebacker. That's his world. You're deciding he's a racist because he wants to be a cop. And why does he want to be a cop? He wants to be a cop because he wants to help people, and he thinks that's the best way he can help people. And that's how the Democratic Party talks to men, not just white men, but men.
Yep.
And I get the idea that they thought Tim Walz could what's the term he used, code switch or something. He thought that he could translate the Democratic Party values because he hunts and fishes and owns a gun and was in the army and drinks a beer. I mean, at least there was an attempt, but I find it just insane.
So what do you think? It rings to me hollow, but also feels a lot like what Chris Cuomo did when he was on the outs.
Well, that talking point is much different than the Biden talking point, right? And trying to clean up his mess. Like,
yeah, because he was a party to the Biden thing. He
because
did that.
what he's realized is he's created a monster, and the monsters come for his family.
You think that's genuine, though? What he just did there?
I mean, if that story's true,
it seemed like it, right? Yeah, which is
that
what you saw from
story is
Cuomo.
true.
Yeah.
That he has a 15-year-old son who wants to be a cop, and these lefties were like, "Oh, is he a racist?" Like, I would be upset too.
Yeah,
because
it's curious. If they're losing guys like Tapper, though, they're truly screwed.
Well, Tapper also knows, like, he's watched what's happened to everybody in his position.
Yeah.
Whether they're on MSNBC or CNN, they just fade away.
Is it better to burn out or fade away, Sam?
I think it's better to walk out on your own.
Well, those aren't that wasn't an option. Burn out, fade away.
I think both are bad. Fade out, maybe. Burnout is fade away is probably better.
Elon has left government, and he's joined the Black Eye Club. It would seem.
Yep, I saw that.
He was there with Trump.
I wanted to ask quickly,
and this is how he explained his black eye in public to the media.
What is your eye okay? What happened to your eye? I noticed there was a bruise there.
Well, it wasn't. I wasn't anywhere near France, so
we'll get to that in a second.
What does that mean?
You know what that means, you fuck.
First lady of France. I didn't know this.
So, I was just horsing around with little X, and I said, go ahead, punch me in the face, and he did. It turns out even a 5-year-old punching you in the face actually does.
That was X that did?
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Is that anything, or because it's getting passed around a lot like it's something? Do you believe him?
I mean,
if you'd like to hear the rest of this episode, subscribe to Broken Simulation in your podcasting app, or check us out at youtube.com/Sam Tripoli.
We go deep, homeboy. Aaron, open your mind. Drink from the fountain of knowledge. There's lizard people everywhere. That's some interdimensional shit. Wake up, Aaron.
This is only the beginning.
Dude, you just blew my mind.
Tinfoil hack.